There's absolutely no doubt that we need to build more houses. That is the whole point of the planning reforms that we have put through, for example, in the Localism Bill, and that will be supported with the new National Planning Policy Framework later in the year. We need to build those houses. But the previous system did not help to build those houses. We are building the lowest number of houses since the 1920s. We have a planning system that was confrontational, that was expensive, that took an almost perverse delight in preventing local people from having a real say over how they can shape their local environment. I simply do not believe that that is a way forward, and I think that it has been a major contribution to the difficulties that we have got into in not building the right number of houses. It needs a complete change of approach. It needs to recognise that people will have a good say over shaping their environment, and that it is by including people as part of the solution that we will actually deliver the houses that we need. What we have here is an opportunity for communities to take the lead in coming forward with the sort of housing that is required to keep those communities going. And for example, the community right to build facility that is built into the Localism Bill is all about giving the communities a flexibility and an opportunity to come forward with admittedly small schemes so that there's not overdevelopment in some of our smaller communities, but schemes that will allow the housing to be brought forward that is required for that community. And I think this exciting approach to the way in which housing is delivered, by actually getting people to be part of the solution for this, has to be the right way forward. I mean, the previous system simply hasn't worked. It simply hasn't delivered what anyone in their right mind would have wanted it to deliver. The way of delivering houses is to turn that on its head and say people have to be involved in that, and they have to be involved in making real assessments of what affordable housing needs are within their own area, as well as market housing needs. There was no controversy over the regional spatial strategies. We made it absolutely clear as a manifesto commitment that they were going. It is in all the green papers that we produced in opposition. We could not have been clearer. And the Localism Bill makes it clear that once and for all they will go, and that we will move away from the regional approach that imposed targets of houses, particularly on local communities, without any rationale of how they relate to the needs of that community or indeed of their immediate wider area. It is by giving the bottom-up approach to local communities and to their councils that we will actually get the delivery of the houses that we want. The National Planning Policy Framework will set the policies, the planning policies that are required for those things that are genuinely national and that genuinely are required to be national. The presumption is that everything else, that the planning is local unless there is a real need for it to be national. So we are not going back to a top-down approach under any circumstances. There is an important philosophical question to be considered when talking about the housing here, and it's not one about planning, it's about human nature. Do you believe, like the Labour Party, that people are, to paraphrase Thomas Hobbes, nasty, brutish and NIMBY, or do you believe that given the opportunity to help shape their locality, people will actually rise to the challenge responsibly? I have to say, from my own professional background, rather than my political background, where I was involved in helping communities with engagement programs to deal with often contentious development, that the more people are given the opportunity to participate, to engage in the whole process, the more that they take a responsible attitude. And for me, the great success of anything like any engagement program like that is when both sides get up from the table and you hear them go away saying, "I never thought I'd be able to get away with that." And that is the ultimate success in it. That is what the emphasis in the localism bill about genuine engagement, rather than the rather hackneyed word of consultation, which so often means telling people, this is my plan, do you like it or do you not? We have to move away from that to genuine engagement. And I think people will rise to the challenge. And I say that from a professional background of having seen that work. The new homes bonus is an important and powerful incentive to getting housing delivered. And it is absolutely crucial in my mind that somewhere along the way, whether it's from the developer contributions that come from development or from the new homes bonus, local councils will want to show that that incentive has an effect locally there. So I think that it would be wrong to underestimate the power that the new homes bonus has in terms of the incentive that it does provide for getting new houses.